Hey guys, so V-Man from No Budget Productions. Uh, so I've had a couple of questions in regards to what all is in the background of my cover photo on my Facebook of what is in the museum of what was once Major Studios. Um, since it's no longer open to the public, um, the green screen portion that people would use for their projects, um, and the main portion of the filming for like the hallway or background, rooms or whatnot. um, since this will be the uh, main portion of the museum part of the room, um, I figured I'd show it to you guys. It's not as interesting as you guys might think. It's mostly stuff you guys have probably already seen before. Um, but yeah, it's not all that interesting. So here is, of course, the green screen part. Here is the, of course, here's my den, my desk. It's kind of cluttered still, as usual. That's where Mona will use that for her writing. I'll probably use it for my art projects. I'd probably do some drawing still. Um, I don't really draw as much as I used to, but I might do a little bit of that again, um, if the mood hits. But that's a nice quiet place to draw if I choose to. Then coming over here, there is the green screen portion that I still have up. The lights that I do have that was donated by Josh Irwin. Um, still have those up just in case, um, I ever do need them. But like I've said, that portion, um, I don't plan to have that part open to the public anymore. The studio is shut down, so that part's no longer open. Then, of course, I have this portion of the wall which, I have the USS Carson plaque, which I'll give you guys a good look at that. That is right there. Um, that was made by Ron Siepel for the um, Melbourne film. Um, and that's something that I've always kept. Um, that was something that I've always kept. Uh, for the films, and I have a chance I get to put it on my wall. I can, and I do, and I've had that there for a while, so I've kept it there. Um, now that it's a, you know, no, now that I'm more of a museum. This is something that Mona got me for Father's Day, which is a picture of everything that me and Royce had done up to this past Father's Day. Um, not not including the Pretender or Dive films that I had done, um, but I love those pictures that we have in that. It's just something that most fathers and sons don't get to share. So it's something that I had been speaking of for a while, and she did that for me. So I really love I really love that. I love how it came out, and you know who gets to do that. That I love that. How adorable he is in that picture, and his first time on set at 4 months old. First time we're at Neutral Zone Studios, his own little Starfleet uniform. His very first one, actually. Um, and that's actually from Gary Davis. If any of you guys remember the uh, um, what is it, Love Boat Next Generation parody, that's what that is. It's the same one that's right there. Then that's his Halloween costume that he wore at Warp 66 Studios. That's a Calvin uniform Halloween costume, but it's a great picture. And that's the shuttlecraft that we took the picture of at Warp 66 Studios. We photoshopped Mona in that picture there. Um, and that's the first time we had built the corner desk set. Um, that's the very first cardboard piece that we had there. Um, that I used for so many years. It was just a flat wall flat. That's my desk. You can't tell from this, but it was a very simple piece, and that was against my window. So it's a very simple piece, but we had spent all weekend making that. Him helping me, quote unquote, paint the room, or at least the cardboard pieces, and then I put it together. And then the next morning he came in to see the, quarter of a room, a spaceship. And then this picture right here is after we had repainted these two doors. We don't have the black trim in this picture yet, but it's that same spot. Like right here is where that picture's taken. So that's what those pictures are. So it's years of memories, and it's one of the things that I love about having done all these fan films is just the memories. So over on this wall, I have, of course, my picture right there, done by Richard Roberto. And then these are printed off the paintings that he's done. These aren't the originals. My original painting that he did for me is in my bedroom, because that's where my wife wanted to put it. I didn't want to paint it myself in the bedroom. She was like, "Oh, it looked good there." I was like, "Okay, I guess." I'd rather put it somewhere else, but she wanted it in the bedroom. But the printed off versions there, and then I have printed off versions of the rest of the paintings here on the wall, because this was also done in the film. The film you'll see tonight, or my final fan film, if this is done after the fact, of Some of Us Stand on Our Own Together, of the room of what I've dubbed the Hall of Heroes, where you see all of these people. You have Gary Davis, you have Paul Jacques, you have Frank Parker Jr., you have Joe Sapita, you have David Chang, you have Michael King, you have Greg Mitchell, you have Leslie Sawyer, you have Tyler. I can't remember Tyler's last name. Forgive me, Tyler. You have Shawn Rimer, who can't rhyme. You have George Kyan. You have... Shoot. I forget. All I remember is Chikande at the moment. Damn it. He's so funny, too. I love this dude. All I remember is Chikande. Damn it slips my mind at the moment. Forgive me, dude. Yava Lewis. And then Crystal Willis. Yes. But these are, in my opinion, some of the greats of fan films, and honestly wonderful people, who've had a huge impact, I think, not only on fan films, but on my life. Each one of them I could tell a story. Gary, every time I ask him to make something for me, I'm like, "Hey man, can you Photoshop this for me real quick? Put this person in the background." He's like, "There you go, man. Oh, thanks, dude. Appreciate it." Every time, we have Paul Jacques, who, every time we have a good story idea, I'm like, "Hey man, what do you think about this?" He's like, "Oh, I love it." He's so positive, and that's what the fan film world needs more of, is positivity. You have Frank Parker Jr., dude, You know, that dude's my fucking brother, man. I love that guy. You know, there's nobody that I'd rather go through fan films with than that guy. You know, from running stories up, you know, at 3 in the morning, you know, or you know, bugging him at 3 in the morning. You know, I mean, we've had so many podcasts and shared memories. You know, um, fucking love that dude. Then you have Joe Sapita, that dude. I mean, you talk about good ideas. I mean, his ideas are out there. You know, he's on a completely different level than anyone else in fan films, and I love that because he shows, you know, that just go for it, just fucking go for it. You know, and I love that because I have the same mentality myself. I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, good, bad, who cares? Just go for it. Grab that football and fucking run. And I love that. You know, I love Joe. Then you have David Chang, who he holds himself with such grace. You know, I thought this guy had been doing fan films for years, but he hadn't.
Oh,
Hey, Turkey Butt.
hi, Dad. I heard you. I heard someone talking while I was doing the easy mouse.
Okay, all right, buddy.
I wanted to
Hey, Rufus. Hey, buddy.
I think he's so happy to see you.
He's very happy to see me. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Rufus.
Yeah, his nose is very long, isn't it?
Yes, it is very long. Say hi.
Hi. Rufus. Rufus.
All right, Rufus. All right. If you need me, let me know, son.
Okay.
There's no fan film in the world that can compete with that. But I mean, I thought with David Chang, I thought he had been doing fan films for years. You know, for like, you know, 10, 15 years. Turns out it had only been a couple. But I mean, that's how much dignity and respect that he just commanded with his presence, you know. I love that dude, you know, because it's just, you talk about a man who just holds himself with composure, you know. I just, much respect to him. And then there's Michael King, the guy who gave me my start. And that guy, I mean, you talk about a guy who stays out of any type of drama. I mean, I wish, I wish I could be like him, you know. And that's a guy that I aim to be more like, because, you know, I mean, yeah, he's smart, creative storyteller, willing to give you the shirt off his back if he, you know, if he can, you know, just a great human being. You know, we need more people like him too. You know, he knows exactly what he wants. And I don't think there's anybody in fan films that doesn't like him. You know, I think he is the pinnacle of humanity. Honestly, I think he is the height of fan films, of what Starfleet fan films, everything. You know, he is just, I can't put him up on a high enough pedestal because I think he is just, I think he is the example of what we should be, you know. And guy never bullshits. You know. And I don't see how he does it, you know. And then we have Greg Mitchell. That guy right there, I have put him through the ringer so many times. Because there's so many times where he's like, "Hey man, all right, I'm gonna go do this real quick. I'm gonna go do this. So all right, so I'm done. All right, cool man, cool." And then 2 days later, I'm like, "Hey man, I got this real quick. I need this, but only you can do this. So if you can't do it, I don't want to do it." And he's like, "All right, let me see it." And then he takes a look at it. He's like, "All right, I guess I'll do it." And I feel so bad because I feel like one day he's gonna be like, "All right, you fat fuck, I'm done. I'm done with you." But I love that guy because he always gives 100%, you know, and he makes me look better than I am. You know, everyone's always like, "Man, you're a great actor." "Oh man, you're a good director or producer or whatever. And I'm like, I'm not. Like, that guy makes me look a lot better than I am. But he's the best, man. Like him and my editor Trey and my editor Dave and I mean and Randy Wren, like they've really picked up the ball and made me look a lot better than I am. I really couldn't have done these hundred and some odd films if it wasn't for the editors. Like honestly, they are the greatest. They really are. Like these people who sit there and they clamor for the limelight and say, "Well, I'm a great actor. I'm this." It's the editors, it's the directors that make them look good. It's the editors that make them look good, and it's not all us. Not enough credit is given to those people. So, um, then there's Crystal Willis, who wonderful human being. Um, Wonderful human being. Every time uh, call up and say, "Hey, I need to do this real quick. Can you uh, hold on just a second?" Okay, sorry about that. So, but no, every time I call her up, even if it's like a year or two later, and I'm like, "Hey, I need can you come on and be a guest on this show?" She's like, all right, I'll do it. Charming woman. You know, and she was one of the most talented people that you'll ever have for a film. Um, and I'll tell you, she starred in not only a Star Trek film of mine, but she starred in a zombie film, and she plays kind of the love interest for my character. Um, and she at that time it was a baby Royce. Plays kind of the mother to him. Uh, and the scene that she is in, like there's these blood curdling screams that she had to do, and I had to take a break from the project because I listened to all six of the takes that she gave, and it was that convincing. And I'm telling you, talent. When you have to take a step back from your own project because of, man, this is dark, man. But I mean, just talent. But I mean, she's great. She really is. Then we have Yava Lewis. Um, she's one of those people that people are always like, man, so is your wife jealous of the woman who plays Emily? And Yava plays both Emily and Captain Mickle. Um, uh, but people are always like, so is your wife jealous that there's another woman that plays your wife? And I'm always like, no, Mona actually likes Yava probably more than she likes me. you know. Um, but Yava's great because she was one of those ones that when she came on set, the first time we met, and I was like, hey, I kind of need you to play Menard's wife. Would you up for that? She's like, oh, sure. We'd never met before, but we had such great chemistry, and every time I tell the story of me and Yava's first day, I always think about that corridor that we go down, and all I'll say is diaper rash. And that brings a smile to my face. So that's all I'm going to say, those of you that want to know what I'm talking about, watch the documentary that I did of, Constar boldly going. Watch the documentary. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's a funny story. So, and then, shoot, man, I am drawing a blank. So there's Chakande. First time I called this dude, I shot him a text. And I'm like, hey, man, so when can you talk? And, hey, man, I'm at work right now. Can we catch, can we talk, a little later? Sure, not a problem, man. A couple days go by, don't hear from him. So I figure, okay, maybe he don't want to talk. Then out of the blue, boom, get a message. Hey, cool, what's up? Hey, can we talk? Yeah. Finally get him on the phone. Get him. Hey, Porky's house support. And he's like, oh, hey, man. And he starts going back and forth with me, keeping the joke going. And I'm like, man, this is a guy that I can joke with. That's what I love about this dude. On camera, he seems, slight sense of humor, but, commanding presence. On the phone, great sense of humor. Love the guy to death. I think I've talked to him twice. I had a Pizza Roll Diaries with him. And which is why it's embarrassing that I'm drawing a blank. I'm like, ah, shit, what is this? And I know as soon as I get off this video, I'm gonna be like, shit, that's his name. Forgive me though. It's been a couple of late nights. I had guys' night with Royce. So I've been watching nothing but Boss Baby. So my mind is mush right now. So forgive me, but great sense of humor, and I can't wait till Josh finally calls us out and says, "Hey, we're doing the Avalon project. All right, Vance, I need you." Because then I get to go work with Chikande, and finally meet the guy who made me laugh for, I think it was like an hour and a half. I think is what we talked the first time. Intelligent guy, smart guy. Then there's George Kyan, another guy I consider like family, like a brother. Him and I've spent countless hours just talking on the phone, talking character, talking story, talking our approach to filmmaking. I would say if anybody makes a film like I do, I would say it's like George. Um, his and I approach is so far the closest. He's so inspiring. I would say if any, the person who, when I look at his films and I'm like, oh, I see that in the background, I can make that. Oh, I see that in the background, I can make that too. I can make that. You see, the shit that's in the background up there, the fuck, what are those tubes called? See, I don't even remember those again. Man, it's been like 3 years now that I've had this up. What are those tubes? Shit. Guys, it's been 3 years and I still don't remember the tubes. Some things never change. Damn. Damn. Anyway, so, but those things right there are inspired directly from George Kine. Just looking at your average, everyday stuff and going, what can I turn this into? And that's a direct result from George. His ingenuity inspires people like me. Um, and that's just the type of person that he is. In person, in filmmaking, he looks at something and goes, "Oh, I can do something with that. Oh, I can do something with that. Oh, I can do something with that." And I love that because he doesn't have to have a $200,000 budget or $500,000 budget. Like just looks at something and goes, "Fuck it, man. How much change we got in the couch? Let's go." Or he'll look at something and go, "Hey, don't throw that away. I can make something out of that." And I like that because that's the way I am. So, if anybody had a huge impact on my career, I'd say it's George. Because I was just a guy with a cell phone, and I wanted to make films. George inspired like that next level of what I could do just by being him. And this guy's been doing it since the 90s. Fucking smart. Then there's Shawn Rimer, the guy I gave the Constar B to. I gave Yava the Constar A because I felt like she deserved it as an actress. She was someone who could bring that presence and would be a great legacy carrier for Menard. Shawn, I felt, was the same way. There was something behind his eyes when I saw he could go toe to toe with me as an actor. And this is someone who I've never met face to face, but I felt that character wise, I felt okay. He's giving Menard opposition, but I felt once we had gotten to that point with his character arc, I thought, this is a great character to give the Constar B to. And for my friend, I felt this is a guy who I can tell that he's gone through some shit. And he's so smart in the stories that he wants to tell. He's just like I was when I was younger. He's hungry, you know. And I wanted to see that. I wanted to help jumpstart that if I could, um, in a way that Michael did for me. And whether he's doing his Top Geek show that he does, or whether he's doing Sanders, or whether he's doing whatever project he chooses to do, I know he's going to go far. He's got a wonderful woman named Lexa that he's with, and they're happy as hell every time I see them. And I wish them the best of luck. And I just adore them both. They're great people, and they bring out the best in each other. And when I look at them, I see Mona and myself, where her and I have gone through hell and back, and we're happy. And that's where I see them. I see them have gone through trials, and they're still together. They're going that mile. So fucking A. And then there's Tyler. Good old Captain Mason himself from the Avalon universe. This guy, I tell you want to talk about a guy who has, he's gone through some shit. That's Tyler. But he still has a smile on his face no matter what. And he's got a story for you. Oh, does he have a story? And that's a guy who, I tell you, he's one of the most charismatic people you'll meet. You I everyone always talks about his Marty McFly, and that's good. Or they'll talk about his Captain Mason, and that's good. But I tell you, my most favorite memory of him is just bullshitting with him for however long it was. I was on break at work. I hadn't got my numbers yet. That's a joke for Josh. But it was getting to know Tyler more. And it wasn't for the cameras. It wasn't for the people. It wasn't for a project. It was just talking to Tyler as a person. And those are the things that I love about films. Those are the things that I love about Star Trek fan films. When you get to know someone who you never would have met, who you never would have known, and they become a good friend of yours because you connect with them on that level. I feel like I knew the guy for years. I felt intimately connected with the guy. I can't say enough good things about him. I can't say enough good things about all these people. They're all wonderful people. And they all deserve to be up here. In this Hall of Heroes. And then there's Leslie Sawyer. She's in the captain's uniform there, of course. She played the captain of one of the episodes of the Newsreel Zone. I forget which one it was. I'm bad with titles of films. I'm bad with titles of my own films, so forgive me. I mean, no disrespect to Ray Tessie's films. But to me, she'll always be Spangler. She played one of my main characters' moms in one of my films, Break Free, and then another film. But to me, she'll always be Spangler, one of Menard's love interests. that he ultimately fails at keeping, because Menard's being a douche, and that character arc. You know how Menard is, and she played it in such a convincing way that she's not right, but she's not wrong. And that character arc, when I brought it up to her, she was like, "Oh, that's good. I like that. Yeah, let's do it." And it needed to be played with such finesse. I don't. I wouldn't have trusted a lot of people to play that. And she's a very talented actress. She really is. I would recommend anybody who is serious about their character, have her play that, because she can do it exceptionally well. Um, Especially for something that is intimate, you know, um, not sexual, you know, but intimate, something that is up close and personal. Um, because she did. For me, it was a very heartbreaking arc, and like I said, I wouldn't have trusted many people with that. And if anyone knows the Menard character, he goes through his share of heartbreaks. Um, so then we have over here, we have the um, uh, Melbourne Command Gold, Engineering Red, uh, Science Division. That was inspired by Gary Davis. He actually made those so I could print them out, but he had his own one like that was made for Dominion, and I made the one out of Melbourne so that I could have that. Um, I liked it so much that I made one of my own. So, um, and then we have over here the most of the plaques that I've had. Um, Two for Stormfront, the Melbourne films. Um, the honorable mentions for which one is that for? Let me look real quick. FFDC, um, the Fan Film Director's Choice Awards, and then the Bijou Awards finalists. And then we have finalist for the Bijou Award over here. I forgot to show, which was for the 11th Hour. That's probably one I'm most proud of for the finalist. So those are all the awards I've had thus far. A lot of a lot of things to be proud of, I feel. Um, you know, for films that don't really have much of a budget, um, it's a lot to be proud of. But those are something that, when I walk into my den, what I have up now. So, and then the final thing, I have the, let me show you, the uniform itself. And that is the uniform. And there is the Constar Com badge. Now, the file itself was made by Dom, one of our film, one of our fans and film people in the comment section, and one of my friends on Facebook. He's a good guy. He sent the 3D print file, and then Dan Reynolds sent the he actually 3D printed that and sent it to me. So he made that so that I could have it, and then I painted it up. Royce and I did. Royce has his own, which he painted all blue. I don't know why. Probably because blue is his favorite color. And then yeah. But I felt that having the Constar badge on the uniform for the retirement was the proper thing. But that will be my uniform. But this is, if you get back here enough, this is what the, no, that is what the room looks like now. So that's the room. So as you can tell, it's not anything super, you know, it's not anything super, you know, elaborate and super cool, but it's for a legacy, um, you know, 6 years of making my own films and 9 years of being involved with fan films. Not too bad. So, with that being said, everybody, thank you for sticking around for these couple of years. Thanks for sticking around for the 150-ish films, and thanks for sticking around for this 36 minutes and watching me do my thing. So, that being said, be genuine, be safe, and keep on geeking on, guys.